السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Jazakumullah khair for coming. May Allah bless the organizers and the other brothers that spoke. MashaAllah, Brother Ashraf, I don't want to put him on the spot, but this was one of my teachers when I first came to Islam, and he had a very big impact on me. So I would like to bless him, accept it from him, inshallah. I think the previous speakers have touched on everything in all honesty, so inshallah will allow me to say maybe one thing that will have an impact on you, inshallah. One of the biggest issues that we all have in life is that we're all trying to seek some type of success. But the biggest issue is that we try to find success in the wrong things. And us as Muslims, one of the most saddening things is that we have that success already. Like, you know, Allah says, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. The believers are the successful ones. So in reality, we're all successful already. And this is something that we have to really ponder on, and we have to understand that with this success comes certain characteristics, some certain obligations, like having devotion in your prayer, to stay away from vain speech, to protect your private parts, to be from the people that purify themselves and give zakat, to be from the people that keep their promises and the people that preserve their prayer. So we know there's some obligations, but ultimately Allah has told us we're successful, alhamdulillah. So why are we trying to seek success in things that are ultimately going to destroy us? And this is the biggest issue that all of us are facing. All of us are falling short in something in regards to our religion. But the most important thing that we have to understand is that as Muslims, we are successful. Khalas, we are successful. We say, La ilaha illallah, we are Muslims. Inshallah, we die upon this. So we are successful people. Allah is not going to lie to us. Allah is not a liar. And He's told us that we are successful. But unfortunately, a lot of us are trying to seek success in things that ultimately will destroy us. I heard a very moving story recently, and it's about a deer. There's a special deer. All of us as Muslims, especially as Muslims, we love musk. Yeah, it's something that we all love. A lot of us spend a lot of money on it. It's something that we all, we have some type of relationship with musk. And there's a special deer that also loves musk. And when he smells it, he runs like frantically, running around chasing it crazily, looking everywhere for this musk. The funny thing about this is that the musk is inside the deer. So the deer is running around everywhere looking for this thing that he can smell. It smells something amazing. And he's running around everywhere frantically looking for it, not knowing that the musk is inside of him. This is the same situation for us as Muslims. The same situation that we're in. A lot of us are running around crazy like headless chickens, trying to seek some type of success, trying to seek some type of gratifications in this life, not knowing that we have it already. We know we have to build upon it, we know we have to renew it, we have to be reminded, of course, but ultimately, from when we said La ilaha illallah, we've accepted Islam with sincerity and certainty, we're successful. Now, I don't want to go too much into my story, but like a lot of you know, I was involved in a lot of crime before Islam, and then that led into the music industry. And alhamdulillah, I came to Islam, you could say 12 years ago, and I've been practicing for 10 years, alhamdulillah. Now, my situation, in all honesty, no matter how things looked from the outside looking in, there was nothing special about my situation. I wasn't the richest person, I wasn't the baddest person, I wasn't the strongest person, I wasn't none of that. The only maybe difference with my situation that it was documented through music or through high profile situations or whatnot, but in all honesty, you understand, there was nothing special about my situation. The only thing that might have made me different is that I was always my own person, even within a society where people are followers, no matter how big they are. And I'm telling you from my own perspective and from what is the reality, that I was around the worst people in the world. And in most cases, all of these people were always following someone or under someone or answering to someone. And that just wasn't my situation. So again, I wasn't the baddest person or the strongest person or the richest person. But I never answered to anyone. And I never followed anyone. And anyone that knows me, they can verify that. I wasn't someone who followed people. So that's why when the deen came to me, alhamdulillah, it's something that I followed wholeheartedly, not because of anyone else, but because I knew it was the truth. And again, like the brother Ashraf touched on, is that a lot of people don't have the same excuses as other people. And again, we don't justify wrongdoings and evil behavior, but the reality is that a lot of us come from different situations. Yeah, a lot of you maybe have been drunk before, but I was drunk at 5 years old with my mother. A lot of you have smoked weed before, but I was smoking weed at 9 years old. A lot of you have got friends that have been to prison, but my mom was in prison for manslaughter. A lot of you don't have the same situations. When you guys got caught selling drugs, you got grounded and got beaten. When I got caught selling drugs, my mom told me to wrap it tight in case I need to swallow it. And don't do nothing for small money. So you're not in the same situation in reality. And it doesn't excuse my behavior or my actions before, but my situation is totally different. And a lot of our situations are totally different. But alhamdulillah, it's not how we start, it's how we finish. And this is from the mercy of Allah. So again, I'm not going to say that, because you're born Muslim, you come from a Muslim household, that, you got no right to indulge in bad behavior, or why you're doing that. I'm not here to judge none of you, because we're all going through the same struggles, or we've been through the same struggles, because we're all living in the same society. Do you understand? And the bottom line is, a lot of us are not born upon guidance. Even though we're Muslims, we still have some misunderstandings within our religion. Maybe our families are not doing the right thing, or even if they're doing the right thing, they're not conveying it to us in the right way. Yeah, so understand that a lot of people that were born Muslim came into their Islamic understanding or the Islamic life in not the easiest way, but at the same time, like we said, it's not how we start, it's how we finish. So without going into too much, when I came to Islam, I had a shaky, you could say, 2 years. But within those 2 years, I probably indulged in more evil than I did before, unfortunately. And this is from the shaitan, yeah? But again, like say different other people's situation, is that I came to Islam upon the belief of Allah and His Messenger only. I didn't come to it through the masjid or through people. Someone just gave me the notion of Islam and I accepted it. I was praying for a whole year, fasting, everything, without even accepting Islam. Islam came to me and I said, this is what I believed in, and I was even very angry, to be honest. I thought, how come I was around all these Muslims my whole life and no one ever told me this? So alhamdulillah, for a year I was studying this, I was practicing Islam for like a year without even being a Muslim. Some of you guys know I was born with the name Bashir. Yeah, I wasn't born Muslim, but I was born with a Muslim name. So when one of my friend's mothers saw me one day, she seen me going to the masjid, I started even giving salam at this point, but her son told her that, I wasn't a Muslim. So she said, what do you mean you're not a Muslim? You're crazy, like your name's Bashir, you're giving salam. I see you going to the masjid, you're wasting your time, you're not even Muslim. I said, Mom, I don't respect Muslims, I respect Islam. I don't want to be a Muslim, I just want Islam. I don't respect Muslims. I was honest, because at the time, her son was one of the worst Muslims I ever met in my life. One of the worst people I met, and he's my, astaghfirullah, but alhamdulillah, he's practicing now, but he wasn't a good person. So that further reiterated what I was saying. But she said, you have to be a Muslim, kada kada. I said, okay, I'm going to pray istikhara tonight, and if Allah gives me a dream, I'll take shahada tomorrow. And she laughed as well. She said that this is like a joke. Like, what do you mean? You're going to pray istikhara? What do you know about istikhara? So I'm going to pray istikhara. Allah will give me a dream, inshallah. If He tells me to do it, I'll do it. Alhamdulillah, the same night, I had a dream. I don't want to say who it was, but I know who it was. A voice from above the house was saying, Khalas, what's wrong with you, Bashir? Like, you're Muslim, what do you want? You're a Muslim. Alhamdulillah, next day I took shahada. But what led up to that, what led up to me practicing, again, it was a very rocky road. Do you understand? And again, I can make excuses, but I'm not going to make excuses. It was just my qadr. I fell into certain things that led up to me getting a record deal with Universal Records, and it was, I don't want to go into too much, but it was a big deal with that. There was a rapper called T.I. in America. and I was offered a record deal with him. For some reason, I didn't take it straight away. And within, you could say, a month or so, Ramadan came. So Ramadan came, and again, one of the issues that a lot of you people, not you people, people in general, don't understand is that if you are going to do a job that is 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and you don't know what you're getting paid, you are not going to do a good job. Am I right or wrong? I'm right. If you're going to do a job 24/7 and you don't know what you're getting paid, you're not going to do a good job. You're just going to quit. Yeah? And it's the same situation that we're in as Muslims. We're told to do this and do that and do this and do that, and most people don't even know what Jannah is about. They don't know about Jahannam. They don't know about Jannah. They don't know nothing. They just have been told something that that you need to do, and go and do it now. And they don't even know what they're getting paid. So it's the same situation I was in. People are telling me about Jannah. I was in Miami 2005, stuff like that. As far as I'm concerned, that was Jannah. Miami was Jannah. My lifestyle before was Jannah, as far as I'm concerned. You can't tell me about something that I don't understand or I don't know about. And I'm coming from a Christian background, where there's a very limited and very vague understanding of Jannah. And this is why they don't chase it. Because they don't know what it is. If you ask them what it is, they'll say, oh, it's paradise. It's in paradise. Okay. Miami, I've been to paradise. You understand? You can't make me lick my lips for something that I don't understand. So alhamdulillah, Ramadan came, and again, the difference with some of us as opposed to other people, even the time when you saw this Dubble stuff going on, if you did witness it, and whatever was happening, I was still praying, and I was still fasting in Ramadan. So that Ramadan came, alhamdulillah, I took the time out to understand this now. I said, you know what, I need to study more, I want to understand more about what I'm doing. And I came across some videos about Jannah. And it wasn't no 48-hour situation or a week situation. It was, as soon as I heard it, I was like, you know what? I'm not gambling with this. Because I never knew that the last person that went to Jannah will have a property alone that is 10 times the size of the whole earth. And me as someone that I always want to have the best things and more, I'm not even thinking about being the last one. I want to be the one in Firdaus al-A'la, the one who gets the property the size of the universe. I used to, astaghfirullah, I'm used to having, I don't want to go into too much, but I'm used to certain things. So again, like he said, when he spoke about the women in Jannah, I said, I'm used to some beautiful women, but I want those women. I'm used to talking about clothes, I'm used to certain clothing. If you go before in Louis Vuitton, they say, hi Bashir, that's how I go in Louis Vuitton or Gucci, hello Bashir. But I said, no, I want those clothes. I want those houses, I want that. And alhamdulillah, you could say Allah told straight away. I said, you know what, I'm done. And this music thing's done for me, it's done, it's over now. People thought I was crazy, people thought it was a phase, like many people thought it was I don't know, it was a lot of things was happening at the time, court cases or whatever. People thought it was some type of joke or something, but it wasn't a joke. Like when you understand the mercy of Allah and what Allah has waiting for us and what Allah wants for us, it's no joke, brothers. And alhamdulillah, a lot of us do understand that. We've got to the age now we do understand, but again, we're still seeking success in things that are going to destroy us. We're still doing it. We know this is the reality. We know that death is coming, death is local, death is not going to knock the door and give you a little warning or give you a text and say it's coming next week. He ain't going to do that. It's just going to come. But if we do, like we say, we follow the steps and we follow the guidelines to the description of the believers, and we become the people that are fortunate to see Jannah. SubhanAllah. Yeah, brothers, we're seeking success in the wrong things. So may Allah make it easy for us. But something happened recently that has even more significance, because again, like a lot of you people know, when I did come to Islam and I left everything I did, alhamdulillah, Allah replaced it with much better. And that's why when Muhammad said, "Man taraka shay'an lillahi wadahu Allahu khayran min," he wasn't lying. When he said, if you leave something for the sake of Allah, you replace it with better, he wasn't lying. Because within a few years, alhamdulillah, I was living in Medina, and then I was living in Makkah, And then before I knew it, I was doing Hajj, and then I was doing another Hajj, and then I was doing Umrahs to the point where I couldn't count the Umrahs. To the point where I'm going out to meet my friends, and then I'm ending up eating dinner with all of the Imams from the Haramain in one plate, from the same plate, to getting married, to having a beautiful daughter, to having many experiences, having some of the best of friends, having the opportunity to travel, to have a clean life, to have a better life than I ever had before. But one of the things that Brother Ashraf, he touched on, that is very, it's a very heavy thing, and it's not something that's easy to have, but if you do have it, again, you are from the richest people, and it's contentment. Because before all of this happened, what a lot of people don't realize, and what a lot of people do, is they like to look at the finished product. They like to look at someone later when he knows Arabic now, or he's done this and he's done this and done that, and they say, okay, that's good. But they forget what happened before. They forget that I went from a Mercedes to an Oyster card. I didn't have any transition. It was from a Mercedes to an Oyster card. From someone that was living a certain lifestyle to being broke. To having ready to have my twin girls, ready like 8 months, 8.5 months, and then them dying. Losing my friends dying, losing. So much things happened within that time period before I went to Saudi Arabia. But I was content. But one of the most significant things that did happen to me is that I remember trying to get a job in Saudi Arabia, and like you, a lot of you people, a lot of the brothers that know me before, know that I never had a job before. I never went to college or university or nothing. I never had none of these things. So when I tried to get a job over there, it wasn't something that was happening easy. And I don't want to go into the ins and outs of it, but just before that trip to Saudi Arabia, the first one, I did i'tikaf. And it was probably one of the best i'tikafs I've ever done. I've done many of them, but that was probably one of the most significant ones for me. Because something happened that ultimately really changed my life. And the last Salat al-Fajr of that Ramadan, the Imam was reading Surah Ar-Rahman. And I remember after the Salah finished, I remember going in the corner in the masjid and crying for at least an hour. Just crying my eyes out, crying my eyes out. Saying Allah, like I felt so like a wretched person. Honestly, I felt like a little dog. I said, how could I ask you for anything? I'm asking you to go to Saudi, I'm asking you to have, like you said, like the Hussein thing, leave me something for Allah, and Allah replace it with better. So I think, Allah, I've left all of this, give me something halal, I still want money, I want this, I want certain things, but halal. And I remember sitting there saying, Allah, forgive me. Like, what's wrong with me? How can I ask you for anything? I come from the worst of people. The worst of people. That same Ramadan is the same Ramadan Mark dug and died. So that's why it's even worse for me, because I know Mark since I was maybe 9 years old. And to think the last time I saw him, I gave him da'wah. And he said, B, I know it's the truth, but I'm not ready yet. I know it's the truth, B, I know. He looked me in my eyes and said, B, I know it's the truth, but I'm not ready. And I remember coming home from Salat, and my wife telling me that your friend's dead. So that Ramadan was very difficult for me, very difficult. But I never forget that morning when I said, Allah, forgive me. I can't ask you for nothing more. What can I ask you for more than this? I'm praying in the masjid, I'm a Muslim. Most of my friends are dead or in jail, or look what's going on with these people. Or they're involved in some evil behavior that maybe they're going to die upon. And I'm here in the masjid doing i'tikaf. The same moment that was the worst one a few years ago. The worst one. And I'm in here now. How can I ask you for anything? And at that moment, that's when I really had that sense of contentment, alhamdulillah. It's like, you know what, Allah, like, I'm good, Allah. Just please let me stay upon this, and I'm good. So please, brother, understand the severity and the heaviness of contentment, and that it's like your invincibility. But you never really get it until you understand what you're doing and understand what you're working for, and understand what this life is really about. There's nothing wrong with having good things and having nice things. Like we say, Jenny gets the Bentley, yeah? You can still have nice things, you can still have a level of success in the dunya. There's nothing wrong with it, if it's halal. But there's another success that is nothing you could ever imagine. It's nothing we can even comprehend. We can't even comprehend it. And I'm going to leave it on this, brothers. There's two dreams that I had. And it's about, one is a positive one, but one is something that might affect you. And inshallah, it will affect you. And it's when I remember when I first come to start practicing, I had a dream. And in this dream, I saw something that, again, I can't explain. If I tried to explain it to you now, guys, I couldn't explain it to you. The colors, the feeling, the way my body was, I couldn't, and it was so severe that it just woke me up. It was so severe that it just woke me up. And I remember sitting there thinking, subhanallah, I know what I saw, but I can't even talk about it. And if this is anything like what we're going towards, I need to get this. Because what I saw was a madness. And I can't, and what hurts me, I can't even explain it. So when Allah's telling you, when the messengers are telling you that you can't understand, you can't explain, you can't comprehend, they're not joking, they're not lying. You can't comprehend it, you can't even explain it. The second dream, guys, and inshallah I've got enough 10 minutes, yeah? Now, this dream is the dream, I think I told it once before in a talk, and because it has such impact on the brothers, I think it's only right that I tell it to you brothers again. And it wasn't my dream, it was my ex-wife's dream. Now, this wife is someone that I was with before in Jahiliyyah. Alhamdulillah, I brought her to the deen by the mercy of Allah. And I married her 2 weeks later. So she came to the religion, and I married her 2 weeks later. So you can imagine, within that 2 weeks, she never did any haram, really. Minimal. Never went raving, never smoked, never drunk, never done zina, nothing. Do you understand? She never done any major sins, put it that way. And then when I married her, alhamdulillah, she was in a halal situation. We lived together, and alhamdulillah, she started to practice relatively quickly. Alhamdulillah. So she's not in the same situation a lot of us that come to the religion or are born Muslims, and we indulge in a lot of things. And we repent, and inshallah Allah will accept our repentance, but we still indulge in certain things in our Islamic life. But she never did that. Unfortunately, she was someone who was a victim of abuse as a child. So she always suffered from spells of clinical depression. You can't call it normal depression. It's clinical depression where for like a whole week or 2 weeks she can't wake up, she can't function. And after towards the end of one of these spells, she said, I'm gonna sleep early so I can fix my body clock because I need to, get out of this feeling. I can't live like this because it's affecting her daughter. I looked at my daughter at the time as well, and it's affecting our marriage or whatever. She said, I can't do this, I'm gonna sleep early so that I can try to fix my body clock. So she went to sleep. Half an hour later, she came back like she saw a jinn. I don't say saw a ghost, I saw the freaked, yeah? A big shaitan, yeah? So she come back like she's seen something now. And at this time, it used to take her maybe a couple hours to get to sleep, but within half an hour, she's come back. I'm saying, what's wrong? She's saying, as soon as I laid down to sleep, straight away I went into sleep. I just knocked straight out, as soon as I lied down. Now, I'm gonna tell you this now, guys, but again, I have to make it clear that she doesn't know anything about the process of death. She doesn't know anything about this. She's new. She doesn't know the process, doesn't know what happens step by step. And even a lot of women that are Muslim, I don't know because they don't experience it. They don't go to the gravesite and they don't go through the process. So she says, I was in the kafan, the white cloth, and I was going into the grave. So they put me in the grave, they started to throw the dirt on me. She said that when they finished throwing the dirt and the dirt was finished, they started to walk away. And I remember I said, I don't know why, but I just didn't want them to leave. I was screaming, saying, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. So I'm just looking at thinking like, I'm from that already I'm thinking, subhanAllah, yeah? How do you know this? You don't know this. So I'm screaming, don't leave, don't leave. So she says, by the time they've left now, I've taken off the kafan. And he said, I'm looking around and I can see thousands of people. thousands of people, like just as far as I can see people. And she said, I've taken it off now, I'm out of it now. And they said, I can see a woman next to me, but she's getting the kafir, she's trying to wrap her hair with it. And she said, I don't know why, Bashir, but I know she didn't wear hijab in the dunya, and she's trying to wear hijab now. But she knows it's too late. So she's trying to wrap it, and she's panicking. And my wife, obviously she's panicking, but in her mind again, she's thinking, you know, I don't know that much, but I'm alright because I'm a Muslim, I ain't done nothing wrong. She says, next minute, the most evil, disgusting, stinking being has come into her grave. And he said, he's come in and looked at her, and then started laughing. And she said, the laugh, he said, like Bashir, the laugh, it made me like, just the laugh alone made me want to faint. And then he said to her, you're lucky I'm not coming for you. He went into the grave next to her, and she said, all I can hear is screams, like he's torturing the woman. The same woman that was trying to wrap her hair. And he's torturing her now. And she said again, and the worst thing that hit me, brothers, again, she doesn't know nothing. But when she's telling me, she's saying, Bashir, the screams are not normal. She said, it's not normal screams. They're not normal, Bashir. She said, it's not normal. Like, it's not normal. And so I can just hear screams, and it's not normal, Bashir. Next minute now, a being comes in her grave, and she said that the being was beautiful, looked like her daughter, yeah? And it smelled good, it was beautiful. She said it come in, and she said, okay, alhamdulillah, I'm alright, alhamdulillah. Sat with her, and then he said, okay, I don't say he, but it was a being, a beautiful being, and he just said, you know, like, I need to go, and got up and tried to walk out. So she said, where you going? He said, like, you still done some bad things, so you need to be purified. She's like, what do you mean, what have I done? What have I done? I haven't done anything. I've done anything. He's like, SubhanAllah. You told white lies. You didn't do things that you could have done, and you expected this day not to be true. That's it. And he said, I'm sorry, but you have to be purified. She said, a being come into the grave, massive, like a giant, yeah? She said it was like a dark purple, like not black, but not purple, like a dark purple. And he said it had like a funny, like a lazy eye, and one big eye, one little lazy eye. And she said that she could see his back, and the back was like a jagged, not jagged rocks, but the body was smooth, but like jagged rocks on the back. And I remember thinking, obviously I don't know, I was thinking too much, but I just thought, you know what, that's from the backbiting as well. Even that's from the backbiting, like little thing, the lazy eye from her being lazy, maybe because of the depression, lazy of her salah, these type of things. I remember like certain things were hitting me like, this is not a joke, these are small things that people overlook. So she said the being took a pickaxe, and it started beating her with a pickaxe. And beating her. He said, blood everywhere. He said, Bashir, he just kept beating me. And beating me. And she's like, Bashir, the pain. He said, it's not like this pain. He said, it's like some next pain. And he said, it's not like, he said, I've had dreams where I've had situations, but he said, that dream one, it's like I was really feeling the pain. And he said that the pain's it's not like she's had a child, remember childbirth is one of the worst pains you can have. He said, it's nothing like that, even the childbirth, nothing like that. It's way worse than that. And he's beating me, and I'm knocking out, and I'm waking up, and he's beating me again, and I'm knocking out. And said it got to the point where she even said, I'm going to just try to grab, I need to fight back, I need to try and grab it off him. And he looked and started laughing. He said, go on, take it. Like he read her mind. He said, go on, take it. He said that she's put her hand through it and just going through that time. Like torment, guys, torture. Beating her again. To the point where he said, it's enough, and he left. The good deeds come back in. And she said that she wouldn't even look in the direction where the bad deeds went. She said she was looking, and she could see like a screen. And then she said, what I saw, it must have been Jannah, because the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I could see like something so beautiful. And all the blood still on me, the good deeds are trying to wipe me and clean me up. And she said that some water must have hit the screen and come into the grave. And they started taking the water and cleaning herself. And she said, and then I woke up. So I'm not saying everything is exactly the same as the process, but for someone that doesn't know anything about that, that's something that changed my life, guys. Changed my life. Like before the trousers beneath the ankle, the same night, is rolled up now. Any little thing that I could think, even to the point where I would even have problems with my father, because even if the phone rang and he was like, tell him I'm not here, like, nah, you're here. He's here. I'm not lying to you. So again, to have that level of iman, guys, it's not easy to maintain it, and I can't honestly say that I have it at the moment, but we have to do things that's going to maintain our iman, and to let us seek things that are going to be beneficial to us, and that will inshallah lead us to really be successful, guys, because again, we're all seeking things that in most cases are not going to lead to any success for us, guys, and ultimately it's going to destroy us. So ask Allah to make us from the successful people, inshallah, and to forgive us and to make us from the believers that Allah speaks about in the Quran, and to give us with those A'la. SubhanAllah wa bihamdihi.
Alhamdulillah. See, these talks, they're not just for who we put on the talk for, they're for ourselves. Yani, you still got one more task, bro. I'm going to do a prize draw. You have to draw out a name out of a hat.
Okay.
Inshallah, 10 minutes, inshallah.